Hello students, this is Suraj Rasa here. Now let's see the seventh practical experiment, which is rolling dice game. Okay, so before starting with this one, just try to revise what you have seen in previous practical sessions. Okay, so you have already learned how to deal with image, how to use image in Android Studio, and how to use some palette components like button or say a drop down menu or say radio buttons and so on. Okay, so the prerequisite to develop this rolling dice application is, first of all, you should have idea about how to use image in Android Studio, how to import image, how to set its margin, how to set its user interface, and so on. So when you are going to create a new project within Android Studio, okay, just open R1 image for your reference purpose. So in R1 image you can see that within on the leftmost side you will find one option as app. Within that option you will find one option as a drawable folder. We have already done this activity while developing the previous application. Just try to remind it, like first of all you should know how to use images in Android Studio, how to drag and drop images within Android Studio. So to develop application, that is rolling dice application, first of all we should have 6 images. Okay, like in sequential order, first image should include single dot, second dot, and so on. Meanwhile, just open R2 image. Okay, you will find here one rolling dice image is available. So in similar way we will require the 6 images which will include the 6 dots which will have the 6 dots in sequential order and so on. So you just need to drag and drop those 6 available images of rolling dice within drawable folder of Android Studio. Okay, so here your Android Studio will have all the images required for this rolling dice application. Now you can see within R1 image or in your Android Studio, like two major files are available. We need to deal with those major files, even though first file is .xml file which is related to your user interface, and another file is .java file which is main file which includes the Java code. Even though so many times we already implemented the same thing through these components and how to drag and drop the required options from the palette of Android Studio, like how to drag and drop button, image, checkbox, or say the rest of the options available. It might be text field and so on. Okay, so we already done same thing so many times. So I hope you have already aware about how to use those palette based components. So especially first of all, before starting with its implementation, just try to listen it up what will be a possible logic to develop this application. So we will try to use image view property within this user interface, that is within XML file. We will try to use one image view tag, and what will be our possible logic is in main activity.java file. Okay, we will try to use one use case sorry no use case one switch case in Android Studio, and within that switch case we will try to create 6 cases within switch. Okay, and we will try to use one random function. So we will try to pass one parameter randomly, okay, to the switch case statement. So based on that random based value, the switch case will try to select either of the cases based on the random number, that is, it will try to select any case, either of the case randomly, and whatever the case is going to execute, so based on that output our output will be generated. So basically, considered, say those six switch cases are nothing but okay, like your first switch cases, set the background as your first image. Second switch case is set the background image as a second image. Third switch case is you are setting up the background image as a third switch case, and third image, and so on. Okay, so in this way we will try to define 6 switch cases, and we will try to pass one parameter randomly to this switch case number. So based on random number, it will try to select any case randomly, which will try to set any case randomly, and this will be our required output. So it will try to show you the output based on rolling dice game and so on. So this is a brief idea about how will be our possible logic. Now again, let's open the r1.png image. Just try to observe all things, like when you are going to uh, create your new project, it will look like this. It will by default include hello world name. Okay, you can set any application name, like in r1 image you can see the application name is dice example. Okay, so again, uh, as you know, first of all we need to deal with two files. First one is .xml file, which is related to the user interface, and another file is your .java file, which where we need to add our Java code, possible Java code, to apply our logic. So after that, just try to open r2.png. Okay, so from the list of the palette includes, that is your user interface palette includes so many options, out of which you need to select image view tag. So when you are going to drag and drop the image view palette component available, okay, after drag and dropping image view, it will ask you to select the by default image. Okay, so you can select the by default image within the drawable folder. Okay, within drawable folder you will find your already added images are there, so you can select either of the image from the drawable folder. So this image will be considered as your by default image, as the background image too. While developing our rest of the applications also, I had told you so many times, like first of all you should complete with your user interface part, and then only you can go to the your main activity.java file. So here, when you are ready with the image within the user interface, okay, your next task is very important, where you need to set its margin. So how to set the margins of selected image, we already seen. Like you need to single click on that image, and you just need to drag the four dots available within that image towards four sides, that is towards up side, left side, down side, and left and right side. Okay, after which it will display its margin automatically. So this is your first task related to user interface. Now again, next task is you need to set its margin. Okay, after setting margin, you need to set its attribute properties. Now attribute properties are so many there, like its name, ID, and so on, out of which we need to deal with its ID attribute property. So just try to set your ID accordingly. Now for example, in this example, okay, I have set the ID as that is the image ID as image underscore view underscore dice. Okay, you can set this ID based on your requirement too, but remember, while in retrieval step we need to use same ID only in your .java file. As you have already attended my previous practicals, you will automatically understand what do I mean to say. Now here, next thing is okay, so next thing is as you can see, same attribute ID will be reflected in your user interface also, that is in your XML file also. In R2 image you can see its ID is set as image underscore view underscore dice. Okay, and through user interface also you can set its ID, like you need to single click on this image and it will display all attribute properties of this image, out of which you need to single click on ID, and you can set it based on your requirement. Okay, so this is how you should deal with your user interface. So again, I'm repeating same thing. You need to deal with two main parts of your application development. First one is your user interface, another one is your .java file. Now in user interface you need to remember two things. First thing is adjusting margins of your used component. It might be image, button and so on. And next thing is you need to set its id attribute. That is, id is very important, okay, which will be referenced further in .java file. Now after that, just click on main activity .java file. Okay, so just for its reference purpose, just open r3.png image. So when you are going to open your main activity.java file, where you need to do actually your Java coding part, it will look like this. Okay, now for understanding purpose, okay, how you are supposed to write down your code, I have uploaded its PDF file also. So just open that PDF file, which is named with code with explanation .pdf file. Okay, so after that you will find by default all packages will be automatically imported based on how you have created or generated your new project file. Now after that, just drag to downwards and just go to the public class main activity extends app compact activity function, okay, which is by default function. It will be open. So here you can see that I have made it as a declaration step, as I have already explained you while developing any Android application. You need to remember four key principles. First principle is declaring, next principle is retrieving. In some cases conversion may be required, so third key principle is conversion, and last one is apply, including its delivery stage also, that is delivering this desired output to the user interface screen. Okay, so you can see that on first page, the first box, that is orange box, is declaration step, where you need to declare your variables. Now your variables can be user defined variables. So in this case I have declared one variable which is named as image viewed as. So your see, as I have already told you that it includes as in normal programming languages, we declared the variable with respect to the data type. So data type can be anything like integer, double float and so on, but in this case the multimedia based, or say the component type variables are declared. So in this case, for to deal with image, here specifically you need to declare the variable name based on image only. So image view is a type of component used from palette, and image viewed as is user defined variable. Next one is as I have already told you, I have already explained you it's what would be the possible logic for its application development. So here we need to use random function also. Okay, so to how to generate random function, now its syntax is similar to the Java programming language. So how to declare a variable for random function is everything we need to declare as a private one. So here private random range is user defined variable equal to new random into random. Don't forget to put up semicolons on the two lines. So this is our declaration step. Now declaration step is done. We need to just only declare the variables here. Okay, so see what will be our possible intention in this case is, when your output screen will display any image, after clicking on that image, it should select any image randomly from the list of available images and it should display, which will form a complete application for rolling dice game. So that's why we have declared this random based variable. Now here your declaration step is done. Now again come to the next level, that is retrieval step. I have made one box also. So in this case, how to retrieve basically this is based on event handler. So whatever be variables we have declared, or whatever be value we have retrieved from your user interface, everything is based on instances. Basically, whatever the instance is there, so that instance will be stored into the user defined variable, which is in our case image viewed as. So image viewed as, the syntax for it is very simple. We have already used so many times in our previous applications also. So image viewed as equal to find view by id, opening bracket r dot id dot the name of the attribute id property of that image, which is nothing but image underscore view underscore as. So here our retrieval step is done. Now third step is in our case, in this case it doesn't require like conversion of the retrieved values, because we already assume that whatever the value is coming from user interface, it is always in the form of string value only, and even though user interface always understands the value in terms of string value only, so we need to convert that string value into the desired data type. Since this is the image, so we don't need to deal with that change. So here that conversion step might be available, but in this example it doesn't require. So the next step is applying the content and delivering the same content to the user interface screen. So here what I have done in this case is, obviously based on that instance, okay, you need to set one activity. So in this case I have used set on click listener. So in this case, within set on click listener, we need to call one user defined function also. So when this instance will be generated, based on that we need to generate one activity. So in short, within that activity I have called one function in this case. So this function is nothing but it is user defined function. So below you will find at the second page, I have declared one function whose name is rolled as. So just try to observe this user defined function. So this rolled as function, okay, here we have declared one variable which is a random number, okay, and this random number will have value based on the random function delivered value. Okay, so above we already declared one random function whose corresponding variable is rng. So whatever the value this random function will pass to the rng, so same value will be delivered to the random number variable. Now in this case I have declared with +1, that is I have incremented this random function based value with 1. Now why do so is, now suppose we have provided the lower limit as 0 and upper limit as 6 to the random function, then it can deliver any value from 0 to 6 randomly, okay, and this value will be stored into the rng variable, and which will be in short equal to the random number variable. So in some cases, suppose the rng value may come as a 0, so in that case automatically this value will be incremented by 1. Not for that case only, for all rng's value it will be incremented by 1. Okay, so to avoid this condition, this rng dot next int +1 is added to this line. Now here the syntax, the how to declare switch case is similar to the Java. If you have known the what is the syntax to declare switch case in Java, so the same syntax is used here also. Like switch random number, that is the variable is in the whatever the value is provided to this random number based on instance, so it will be called, and based on that the respective case will be called. Now the same syntax, case 1 colon image viewed as dot set image resource on r dot drawable dot is1 and so on. Now let's try to understand what is the meaning behind the syntax is. So basically this image viewed as is nothing but the user defined variable where we have already declared this variable above. Just try to observe it on first page. So whatever the instance is stored in this image viewed as variable. In short, whatever the activity user is going to do, that is after clicking on that image, the rest of the things are happening. So whatever the instance is stored in this image viewed as, okay, so based on that it is going to set the image resource for that image view property as r.drawable.dias1. that is, in short, from that drawable folder it is trying to fetch dias1 image. So in this way all cases are defined, like for case 2 dias2's image is referenced, case 3 dias3's image is referenced, and so on. Now here the basic standard syntax is nothing but I'm just trying to repeating same thing again here with reference to the standard syntax available. Name of the variable used to fetch that image dot set image resource, opening bracket, r dot drawable dot image name. This is the standard syntax for setting up the setting up the image within the image view property as a background image. So in this way, 6 cases are defined. So whenever you are going to click on the image within user interface, okay, so automatically your retrieval step is done. That is, that retrieval step, based on that retrieval step, the information is delivered to the image viewed as variable, which is user defined variable, which only can understand the image view property only. Since we have declared this variable based on image view property only, after that the set on click listener we have already used, that is event listener we have used based on this activity, and after which it will call the user defined function as a roll dice, and then when this roll dice function will be called, okay, step by step. First of all it will try to allocate some value randomly between 0 to 6, and based on that the switch case will be executed, which will pass the case value based on the random number variable. So this is how you can develop rolling dice application in Android Studio. So even though this is very simple, if you compare whatever the practicals we have seen in previous sessions, this is a simple one. You just need to remember the syntax of how to declare switch case, and obviously our regular steps like retrieval, declaring retrieval, if it includes the conversion or applying and delivering steps, you will automatically understand how to develop an application.